I recently wrote an article on this and I had some decent feedback, so I figured I'd make a quick video to talk about what engineering managers do from my perspective as an engineering manager. And I'm going to try to do that in about 4 minutes or less, so we'll see how I do. The first part is really around understanding business needs, so the influence in project and product management as an engineering manager. So I think this can vary significantly from organization to organization. Your team might be focused on engineering specific things versus sort of like end user needs. So that's one part of it. And the other aspect is sort of how the organization is set up with project managers and product managers. You need to have an understanding of deliveries and deadlines and then be able to help unblock the team so they can keep making progress and navigate that. The other aspect to that is dealing with shifting priorities. So if the business has different features they want to build out because some new information has come up, or being able to help triage and fix critical bugs. Sort of another aspect to this is really just trying to be the bridge between the technical pieces the engineering team is doing and then the higher up sort of perspective into this from a project or product management perspective. The next part, this is again a personal opinion here, is technical and domain experience. This is also something that can vary significantly from organization to organization. So if you take one end of the spectrum, engineering managers might have expectations around doing individual contributions, so maybe delivering code to the code base. The other end of the spectrum is really just no individual contribution and focus strictly on the people management side of things. And I think that there's probably a place kind of in the middle that's maybe more common, which is a balance of both of these, and then kind of having a bit more architectural influence and support in that regard. So personal opinion here for me is that I think that technical depth is super important. I think it can help build trust with your team members. If you need to make a decision for the team can trust that you know what you're talking about from the technical side of things. I think it gives you a better understanding of what your team is actually working through so you can relate to those challenges better. And then sort of an extra dimension of growth and mentorship for the people on your team, because understanding what they're going through and the next steps for them can be really beneficial. This last part I think is probably the most important in my opinion. I call it servant leadership. So I think that it really requires that you have an understanding that making your team more effective is more important than making yourself more effective as an individual. And I think this is one of the hardest things for engineers to do as they move into engineering management. So one part of servant leadership is the career growth aspect. So level setting expectations with individuals and their roles, understanding and navigating those growth opportunities for the employees on your team. I think being human is a huge part of this, and it sounds kind of funny, but be public about your mistakes, demonstrate leadership by sharing the learnings about those mistakes. You should trust your team and that they're operating with best intentions, and then leverage situational leadership because everyone on your team is different. And the last part here just sort of summarizes this part, I think. Empower employees to do their best work. I think that's really a critical part of this role. So you want to give your team a safe place to share their perspective and ideas and then be as effective as they can possibly be in their role. So that's it. I hope that kind of helps, and I think I did it in under 4 minutes. Thanks.